Oh man, things are getting gnarly in this market. We've got a Bitcoin whale who has activated 1,000 Bitcoin. Could he be set to dump this onto the market? He has not touched his Bitcoin for 12 years. What implications could this have on the market? We've also got Coinbase deciding to sue the SEC. That, plus in the chart, Bitcoin forming a falling wedge. As well as that, this also forming a very important pattern on the 4-hourly chart, which I'm going to share with you as well. Smash up likes. Don't forget to subscribe. Guys, check out the links in the description to Binance and Bybit, the two platforms I'm using to trade. If you do sign up to the Binance link in the description, I'm going to be giving away some awesome merchandise, which includes the likes of this Cristiano Ronaldo NFT exclusive t-shirt, hoodies, hats, all sorts. Make sure you're signed up using my link in the description. Binance, one of the best trading platforms there is out there, the biggest exchange in the world anyway. Who isn't using Binance? If you're already using Binance, set up another account using my link in the description. It doesn't take long at all, and you'll be entered into the draw for these prizes and much more. Now, look at this here, guys. We're going to jump down into the 4-hourly chart here, and you can see Bitcoin forming a very important ascending, broadening wedge type pattern here. You can see that support is hanging along the lines of 27,000, which I've shown you was a very important support level. But what is going to happen from here? Where are we going to break up to or downward from here? And what are the price targets? We are going to get into that and all the patterns in the charts. But first, we've got to understand what is going on and what is the backdrop in this market. And the biggest story to kick off with today is that there has been a whale who has woken up and remember that he has 1,000 Bitcoin in a wallet. This wallet was last activated 12 years ago. He or she then decided to move 400 BTC, which is worth around 11 million, into a new wallet. He moved 360 into one wallet and he moved 40 into various other wallets. 600 BTC remain in the existing wallet. So there's a risk here that 1,000 Bitcoins in totality, which is worth about $27 million in current valuation of Bitcoin, could be dumped onto this market. And what are the ramifications that could have? Now, the important message for us to take away from this is that this is the ultimate best way of investing, right? These guys who have managed to buy Bitcoin, funnel it away and forget it existed for a decade, those are the ones that are laughing, because Bitcoin has done 40,000% over the last decade. And that is the ultimate DCA. That is the ultimate long-term investing. And that is what ultimately you need to be doing in terms of building your conviction. You need to stop thinking in short-term time frames and think, hang on, if I'm putting $10 of my wealth at a time, as an arbitrary number, $10 of my wealth at a time, instead of buying Starbucks or buying that hat I want or buying those sneakers or trainers or whatever else you want to be buying, if instead I'm funneling it away, it doesn't affect me, doesn't affect my lifestyle, on I get, in 5, 10, 15 years time, you're going to look back being one of these whales that are moving their funds around, trying to take a little bit of profit so you can buy yourself a new mansion or a yacht or a plane or whatever it is this guy's going to want to buy with his return. So very important here. But could this then be the impetus for our next leg down? I'm going to jump back into the chart shortly to share with you what that leg down could mean for the price action. Hold up. Are you tired of worrying about the security of your cryptocurrency transactions? In this crazy world that is crypto, protecting and preserving our digital assets is everything. And for that reason, I partnered with NordVPN, the best VPN service for crypto traders. With NordVPN, you can be sure that your online transactions are completely secure and your identity is hidden from prying eyes. Their military-grade encryption technology makes sure that no one can access your data, even on public Wi-Fi networks, so you can trade with complete peace of mind anywhere, anytime. Guys, seriously, don't risk your hard-earned crypto and NFTs for the price of a coffee each month. They've also offered a free month and up to 60% off their plans. Oh, and they've got a 30-day money-back guarantee. Guys, seriously, it's a small price to play for a rapid, safe VPN. Definitely check it out. Link is in the description. Ijaz.uk/NordVPN. And let's get back into this video. To that, you've had Coinbase decide to sue the SEC after months of silence from the federal regulator. Guys, there's no surprise that the SEC are in complete turmoil right now. They're a mess. Gary Gensler gave testimony at the committee, at the Senate. You saw how he got wrecked in that. He looks completely incompetent, and now he's bitten off more than he could chew. When he was targeting the likes of Kraken and fined them $30 million or whatever it was, when he targeted the likes of Paxos, who was the issuer of BUSD, that's one thing. But to come after Coinbase is like asking for trouble. It's like a teacher trying to claim that the best behaved kid in school who's like a prefect, who's like, you know, does all the honors and all the extracurricular activities, and saying, oh, that little girl over there, she's misbehaving. No, nobody's going to believe you. Everybody knows that she's the teacher's pet. How is she not behaving? And that's Coinbase right now. Right? Coinbase are the ones that want to follow the rules. Okay, you can say things about Bybit or Binance or whatever else because they're in different jurisdictions. But Coinbase? No. Their whole premise is to be publicly listed. Their whole premise is to be US based, to follow all the regulations. That's why they went for their IPO. Why would they want to do anything shady? Not at all. In fact, the opposite, right? Which is why they were petitioning the SEC to say, can you abide by the SEC rules on what determines a security or not? And that is what this is all about. The July 2022 petition asked that the SEC propose and adopt rules to govern the regulation of securities that are offered and traded via digitally native methods. Now you imagine you're Coinbase here. You're the biggest exchange in the US and biggest regulated exchange. And you come out and you say, guys, SEC, give me the rules. I want to play this game. What are the rules of this game? Tell me what the rules are. I'm more than willing to abide by them. And the SEC just go quiet, right? We're not going to give them any rules, no rules. But then they issue them a Wells notice, which is a notice to say, we're going to sue you. You're doing something wrong. Coinbase, hang on a second. We've been asking you for the rules from day dot. You can't just make up the rules and say, oh, we didn't abide by the rules. And that is the battle you've got going on. So you can see here the tweet by the chief legal officer, Paul Garewal, over at Coinbase. He said, today we filed a narrow action in the US Circuit Court to compel the SEC to respond a yes or no. Just give us a yes or no, guys. To a rulemaking petition we filed with them last July, asking them to provide regulatory guidance for the crypto industry. You can go on and read the Twitter. I'll go ahead and give this retweet so you guys can read this. Follow me on Twitter at RealIjaz1. I do post some interesting threads every so often on there, and you get the latest insights into the chart patterns when I'm not able to make a video. So now let's jump back into the charts, because ultimately we need to understand, what does this mean for crypto? And the first thing is, if this whale wants to dump, and if we get more liquidations going on in the Bitcoin price, we know that we're holding very important support at this 27,000 level from various levels. In fact, let me show you why. From this chart, first and foremost, you can see that this level here at around that 27,000 level is very important support dating back to this period here. A bunch of support from this period in March, and then you can see obviously earlier here in early bits of March as well. Very important level is at 27,000. It was hard to break through, and it'd be hard to lose as well. But if we lose that level, you can see support comes in at 26.2 and then 25. And I've given you various different chart patterns that show you how important those levels are. Also, I shared with you guys the Fibonacci ratios, and look at this. The 27,000 level is exactly at the golden pocket, right? The golden pocket sits between 26.8 and 27.2. So this golden pocket area is going to act as very important support. If we cannot hold this, then we will be looking for a fall down to our next support levels, which is around that 25,000 level mark. And I'm going to show you that here on the chart. If you're to take the measured move from the breakdown of this pattern, what you want to do is you take the height of this distance here. Now, again, if any of this is unfamiliar to you, ijaz.uk/TA, we go through all of these trading patterns. So you shouldn't be watching these videos without spending a few hours over there watching that. I've made it available completely for free. No other person making content has done that. They charge thousands of dollars. So please do yourself a favor and go watch it. It's in a structured curriculum where you can just click through EMA ribbon, ascending triangles, descending triangles, all the things, work through it there. So you take this move, but really you take between 50 and 60% of the move, okay? So you take 50 to 60% of that measured move and you apply it, and look, no surprise, you get to that 25,000 level mark here on the price down if we break down from this wedge. Now, the worrying thing is we're spending a lot of time at the bottom of this wedge. The more time you spend at the bottom, the more likely you are to break down, okay? So that could happen. You can get a retest off the back end and you can start working your way towards that 25,000 price target. Now, what is the bullish scenario? Well, the bullish scenario says, hang on, what if we get some crazy support here and get a big move to the upside? Yeah, that's fine, but the move to the upside is going to be very difficult, right? First and foremost, there's going to be a bunch of resistance sitting back at that 28,000 level mark where my cursor is right now because of all this resistance in this cluster here. Thereafter, you have to fill this gap quite quickly. The gap you fell down from, you're going to have to fill on the way to the upside. Okay, so that's not going to be easy neither, because you can't just do this and hang here. No, you're just going to get thrown straight back to the downside again. So the next impulsive move on Bitcoin has to be strong, has to collect quick support, and then go create higher highs above 31. That's not going to be easy for Bitcoin. And that is why I feel like there could be more of a move back down to collect some major support from the 25,000 level mark. Now, another way to look at this in the shorter time frame is to look at this descending wedge, right? You can see Bitcoin is forming this descending wedge pattern. Could we be getting a breakdown from this type of structure? Because if we do, the measured move from this type of move, if you take it from here to here very crudely and apply this to the point of breakdown, is suggesting we could be getting down to 26.5k, which again ties in with my two levels. One around that 26.2, 26.5 level, and then if we lose that, then we could be heading down to that 25,000 level mark. Now, why is this all important? Well, we know that if we clear all these diagrams and come up to our weekly chart, I've continued to mention to you guys, if we bring on the EMA ribbon, where does support sit? Well, a retest of our major support on the weekly time frame brings you to that exact 25,000 level mark. The start of that EMA ribbon is at 25,000. So could it be that we just want to retest, bounce, and then on the weekly time frame, it's important that we go post higher than 31. Now, where this starts to become worrying is when we fall to 25, if we start showing a bunch of weakness. If we don't manage to respond at 25, and in fact, if we manage to go lower down to 24 and lose our weekly EMA ribbon, that is then a pain. Because then a lot of our hard work running into our EMA ribbon, reclaiming our weekly EMA ribbon, starts to become unwound. But until then, until we've not tested this level, tried to bounce, we cannot be too worried just yet. It's just a pullback. And that is why I will be taking advantage personally of that pullback into that 25k region. Now, is there hope that we can just bounce without a pullback? And the answer is yes, but we're really waiting to the final innings for that. Ideally, what you would have wanted to see here from the daily chart is you wanted to see Bitcoin respond here. You wanted it to bounce from its EMA ribbon and continue to move onwards. But we didn't get that bounce. We've just fallen right into the depths of our EMA ribbon. We've spent 3-4 days here at the bottom of our EMA ribbon. And now the bias is going to be with the bears to say, bears, can you finish off the job? Can you finish off the job and close a weekly candle below the EMA ribbon? But here's what's interesting. The bulls aren't quite giving up. And where's your clue? Again, you'll notice this. If you're in our EA course, ijaz.uk/TA, this candle will be spitting out at you and saying, look at me, this candle right here where my cursor is. That is called a doji candle. Okay, that doji candle shows indecision in the market. It shows that the bears and the bulls are at a stalemate right now. The bears want to close below this EMA ribbon. You can see within that daily candle they tried to do so, but the bulls said no, not just yet. So there is an arm wrestle going on at this key level right now because bulls and bears both know that reclaiming or holding this EMA ribbon respectively is going to be the important battle. The bulls will not want to lose hold of this EMA ribbon because that will then almost certainly suggest we're going to need to go down to 25 on the weekly chart. But the bears need to finish off the job. And at the moment, they've not been able to do that. So the bulls, if they want to respond, they need to bounce from this EMA ribbon with a powerful volume candle. And then the work doesn't stop there. They can't just bounce. They've got to bounce and get past 31. And that's going to be the difficult bit. Not only do they have to bounce, they've got to go get past 31. Because if they don't, and they create a lower high, the risk continues that they could have a continued move to the downside. So there you have it, guys. Interesting time in the market right now. You've got the SEC continuing to give a headache to markets, but it's so good and refreshing to see Coinbase taking the charge, saying, you know what? We're not having this. And Coinbase are literally the best representative we have and in this crypto space to put the SEC back in their box. And ultimately, you guys know my view on this. If the SEC want to continue to overreach, what are they going to do? They're just going to push companies like Coinbase outside of their jurisdiction. They will go to Singapore. They will go to the UAE and Dubai, right? They will just relocate their headquarters, and all America will be doing is pushing innovation offshore. We've seen that. Coinbase have said over the last few days they've gone and got their Bermuda license. They're open to the idea of moving away from the US if it continues to be a challenge with the SEC and regulators, and we're going to see how this plays out. But if there's one person, one platform, one company that could give the SEC a run for its money and give them a tough job in the courts, it's going to be Coinbase. So we all, as a crypto community, need to stand behind them and give them our support. Guys, smash some likes. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you go watch this video here for the 5 tools and indicators I cannot live without, and you should not be living without them too. And I'll see you in the next one.